could have done this on the outside, really and truly. Why the hell do we need to be here?
So why didn't we?
Exactly, why didn't we? Why didn't we?
Well, something ain't right, is it?
Why am I not chatting to her if I'm open? Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, chat to her then, but I think now I will be more open.
Am I surprised that Messy Mitch was in full force? No. Am I surprised with Lewis's reaction? No. I guess to some extent it's justified. And how calm Mitch is, knowing how messy he's been, is amazing. And also, sadly, Toby might be self-sabotaging. He might be listening to the wrong people because he's going to jeopardize his relationship by receiving advice from people who might be interested in his partner. But hey, it is what it is. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. It's your girl Valerie. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island All Stars Season 1, Episode 5. The producers are messy, and they really are, because soon after Lewis and Dem's kiss, they called for a recoupling, and they made Dem pick last, which meant that Demi had no choice but to pick up what everybody else had left. So you had Josh pick first because he's the latest to come in. He picked Georgia H, which made sense since they've had a situationship. You have, I'll just call them out in random order because I didn't, take note of who picked in what order. So Kaz picked Lewis, and this is after she was told that he kissed Demi. And you could see Mitch was excited. Lewis was 50-50. He didn't seem upset, he didn't seem happy, so he was toeing the line. Georgia S, we all know she was going to pick Toby. There's no way she wasn't going to pick Toby. Liberty decided to pick Mitch, even though she understands that her connection with Mitch is different to his connection with Demi, and he seems to be leaning more towards Demi. Molly picked Callum. It makes sense. She was put off by Chris, so there's no way she was going to pick Chris. I said it before and I'll say it again. Chris, you can only take him in small doses anymore and he puts you off, so I'm not surprised that she didn't pick him. Hannah decided to go with the devil she knows, so she went with Anton. And it's surprising because given the fact that Chris was very popular on day one, all the girls have gone off him and he had to end up with Demi because she had no choice but to pick him. And then for Mitch, after the recoupling, to tell Liberty that, Lewis kissed Demi. It's like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? You're just stirring the pot. But at the same time, this is the only way, as I said before, he can stay in the villa. So he's going to be messy and toxic so that the producers keep him in the villa. So after everybody moves away from the fire pit, you have Kaz and Lewis sitting there. And Liberty sort of confronts him and asks him, is it true that you kissed Demi upstairs? And he said, yeah. So Kaz wanted to know, did she kiss you or did you kiss her? And he said, yes, I kissed her. And it's like, Kaz doesn't deserve this. She does not deserve this. I wish the producers would either bring her someone that's really feeling someone like her, or I wanted to stay, so I don't want her to go home, so I can't give the option of going home. I wish they would cast people that are very diverse in their dating, people that are not sort of stuck in one specific type. That way we don't get everybody coming in and saying, I like Molly, I like Molly. There are other girls in the villa. They need to give all the other girls an opportunity. You never know who might be your match. So soon after the confrontation, you can see Lewis is now becoming defensive. He's becoming upset with Mitch, and Mitch is busy asking Demi, did you kiss Lewis? And she says yes, because she doesn't know the storm that's brewing. So you can see Lewis is going to go into attack mode, and it's like, why? You did it, so take ownership of it. One thing about Mitch is going to be Mitch. Why do people think he was called Messy Mitch on his season? You could see, so Lewis erupted and he went and he was in attack mode. I think all he could see was red because he had been backed into a corner and he didn't know how to come out. And instead of him sort of taking a moment to think, he went into attack mode on Mitch, and Mitch was defensive because Mitch is going to defend himself. And so he stormed off, and then I think he cooled down after a little bit and realized that no, he had gone about it the wrong way. And I think speaking to Chris and speaking to Hannah sort of helped him, Lewis, recenter himself and realize that it's not worth the hassle. It's not like he's had sex with a girl, he's kissed the girl. What he did is he didn't tell the other girl he was pursuing that, no, I'm leaning towards this girl. Had he done that, then Messy Mitch wouldn't have needed to step in. And at the end of the day, Mitch was, yes, he was game playing in the sense that he wants Demi, so he wants to get Louis out of the way, but also at the same time, it's good for, for Kaz to know so that she's not walking around blindly thinking, oh, I finally got the guy that I wanted, when that guy is not really into her. So I like that. I like the fact that Mitch and Louis were able to iron out their differences. One thing boys are going to do is they're going to iron out beef quickly and it's over and done with, whereas with girls we'll carry it until the end of the season and into the real world. So I'm happy that they were able to address that. And also I have gone off Demi. She reminds me of Paige. I know a lot of people on social media are saying she's got the Paige niceness, in the sense that she pretends to be nice to somebody and yet she is actually a villain, in the sense that she kissed Lois, came down and sat with Kaz and Liberty and never said anything, and then at recoupling complained that the person that she wanted to pick had already been picked. And then she comes and can I speak to Kaz? I'm happy that Kaz said to her, you could have told me the truth if you really wanted to, because after the kiss, if you didn't want to tell me, you shouldn't have come and sat with us. You should have gone and sat anywhere else, but you came, you sat with us, so you had time to tell me about the kiss. But you chose, oh, you're my friends. Well, if I am your friend and if we're feeling the same guy, would it not be a good thing for you to tell me that, hey, that guy we're feeling, he and I shared a kiss? Just a heads up, so That way Kaz would have known what to do at recoupling. Not pretend as though you're her friends, you're all friendly, and yet you're busy making out with the same guy she likes, and you're okay with that. I don't get it. I think if she had the first recoupling, so was she going to pick Louis and still not say anything? I'm happy that Mitch said something. I really am. And there's tension in the villa, because I like the fact that Chris and Toby tried to have a conversation with Mitch to sort of tell him that, he needs to sit down with Louis and talk. And Mitch is going to be Mitch. For everybody having watched Mitch's season to expect Mitch to behave differently, well, then you didn't really watch him. He's messy Mitch for a reason, and he's going to do that because that will keep him till the end in Love Island. And for Liberty to sit down with him and sort of say, oh, I don't know whether he's really interested in me or whether he's just being messy because he wants Demi. What do you think, Sherlock Holmes? What do you think? He's just using you until he gets the person that he wants. If he doesn't get the person that he wants, then he's going to stay with you until the end of the show, unless somebody else comes in who either one of you like, and then you choose to recouple. Okay, I cannot claim to hate Demi because I don't know her personally, but I can say I am a member of the I dislike Demi club, in the sense that she then goes to sort of moan to Louis that, oh, Kaz is upset with me. She's upset that I didn't tell her that I kissed you. Whereas if the situation was turned and she had kissed you, I wouldn't be upset. I would have said it's okay. Please don't. Please don't try and make yourself out to be the victim. Please don't. You know what you did. Take responsibility for it with your full chest. You lied. And for her to then go to Hannah, oh, Kaz is upset with me because she says I didn't tell her about the case. She won't even look at me in the eye. What do you think? What do you think? She really liked that guy, and you kissed the guy and sat with her and didn't tell her that this is what has happened. And yet you wanted to be, oh, no, that's fine. Let's play. So you're now turning yourself into Kaz's victim. Why? Why? I hope it doesn't turn out, and I hope Louis treats her as badly as he treated his exes, and then we'll see how she feels. Oh, she thinks she's won, but she's just won. In the famous words of the girl from Love Island Australia, she hasn't taken Kaz's man, she's taken Kaz's problem. So, good riddance. So everybody goes to bed, and it's interesting that Liberty is saying that she's not sure whether Mitch really likes her, but she makes out with him in bed, and it's like, which is it? Do you like him and you don't care whether or not he likes you, or do you like him and you think there's something there and you're going to make out with him in bed? I don't get it. In the morning, there's debriefing again, and it's like, why? Molly, I'm here for Molly. I'm here for Molly because Molly is not with the BS, because you have, Demi sort of saying, oh, I hope Louis continues to get to talk to me. I just want a natural conversation. I hope he doesn't sort of stay away because of what's happened with Kaz. And Molly's not even paying attention. She's looking here, there, everywhere. And you can tell she's not even listening. And then as soon as that's finished, she moves on to Georgia H to say, Georgia, are you planning on continuing to get to know Anton? And it's like, everybody can see through it. They can see that Demi is not it. And they all feel some type of way. This is why she's ended up sitting down with Georgia H and Molly. I think everybody else obviously the two girls, Liberty and Kaz, don't want to sit with her. And I think Hannah, yes, she's a neutral party, but I think she's decided nah. Georgia S is a neutral party as well, but I think she's decided nah. So I think those two want the short straw. And you have, Lewis sort of talking about, oh, Mitch is Mitch for a reason. He's always going to stir drama, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, God, can we stop talking about this? We've had enough. And so the conversations, it's sad that Anton still wants to pursue a connection with Georgia H, but Georgia H is saying no, she wants to focus on Josh. And it's like, well, if you and Josh were that compatible and if you were going to work, why then did you come to Love Island since you already knew each other in the real world? I think you're better off giving Antoine a chance because he might actually shock you, and instead of you pursuing something that will never go anywhere. So after debriefing, you have Anton pull Georgia H for a chat, and I really feel some type of way about what she did, because she told the girls at debriefing that she was only going to know Josh and she was going to stop things with Anton. And so for her to give him the impression that she's still open to getting to know him, she's still open to chats, I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. I think it would have been better if she had just pulled the band-aid off and just told him the truth. That way he knows where he stands with her and he can try and explore connections with other people. Otherwise, it's a waste of time for him to try and pursue a connection that's already not there. You have Molly and Josh chatting, and Josh is saying, he's okay with Georgia getting to know, Anton, because they were doing that before he came in, but he's also wanting to explore a connection with Molly and see if there's anything there. And it's like, why is everybody pursuing Molly? Why? What is it about Molly that's so interesting to them? She seems like she's just quiet and she's just dry like the Molly from last season. So I don't get what it is, whether guys are sort of enticed by her look or the fact that she's been in a relationship for 3 years. Maybe that's it. Otherwise, there's nothing else that stands out about her. You then have Toby have a conversation with Chris, and Chris knows that he's lost Molly because he's actually complaining that, after the kiss, she hasn't spoken to me. She hasn't said anything. I don't know why. I think, people told me not to run with scissors and I did. I went up against a 4-year relationship and it seems I failed. And I said, no. In my opinion, it's a no. I think he should have kept quiet. The more he talks, the more he puts off girls. And sadly, Molly got the ick and she can't get away from that. And he is now stuck in this situation whereby he really likes this girl, but he's turned her off and there's nothing he can do about it. Toby is too cute. This is why he gets away with murder, because he pulled Molly for a chat after speaking to Chris and knowing where Chris stands, and then he's having this conversation about, I wanted to check and just let you know that I am open to getting to know you. Are you open to getting to know me? And it's like, Toby, I don't think any of the girls in the villa are going to be wanting to pursue anything with you because they can see how much Georgia S really likes you. And because of that, the girls are not going to want to step on that out of respect for Georgia S. So it's either you break up with Georgia S or you let Georgia S know that this is what you're going to do. And Molly asked him, you need to tell her that you are still open to getting to know people because she's been on a date. She's shut the guy down. So you need to let her know that you're open to getting to know other people. Toby then pulls Georgia S for a chat and lets her know, we're open. I pulled Molly for a chat just because I want to get to know her. I want to explore and see if there's anything there. And Georgia S was in her feelings. She was upset. And she has a right to be upset because I think for her, she has Toby as the only person that she likes. And she feels like she's chosen him. He's chosen her. And this is where they stand. So the idea that he's now coming back and telling her that, I am actually open to getting to know other people, I think is something that's taken her out of left field. And if Toby's not careful, a lot of guys really like Georgia S. So if he's going to play the field, and if Georgia S opens the door, they are going to come running, scrambling. People like Anton, who really liked her but stepped back because of Toby, they're going to come rushing through that door, and then he won't be able to come back because he will have messed his situation up all on his own. So Demi receives a message to say that there'll be a punk rock party, and Her excitement is a bit too false. I have gone off Demi. I think she pretends to be nice, but I see her as a mean girl because of the way she moved with the Lois situation and then tried to play victim when she realized that people weren't sort of eating up whatever she was trying to sell. So the islanders get ready for the night. Everybody's dressed in black. They're trying to be, punk rock. And then Molly pulls Chris for a chat to say, I really am not feeling it with you romantically, and neither am I feeling it with Callum. So this is where I was sort of stuck in between the two of you as to who to choose. And she tried to say, oh, maybe it was the case, there wasn't that spark that I was looking for. I think she was just put off by Chris, really. I think his behavior and how confident and cocky he came across afterwards is what put her off. And the fact that he didn't respect her relationship enough to give her time to process the argument that they'd had. I think that's that's many of the reasons why she doesn't want anything to do with him romantically. It's interesting given how much of a connection that Lois and Demi said they had. Their conversation still center around Kaz, and it's like, why? If the two of you are really feeling each other like that, you'd have spent all day together, you'd have been eating each other's faces off, but instead we haven't seen anything of you until the evening after, unless it's the editing. So I don't get it. You then have Georgia S sit down with Toby for a chat because they're still going back and forth about their being open. I think Georgia S thought they were open for formality's sake, but not open as in wanting to explore connections with other people. And sadly, Josh, I think, and Molly are the reason why Toby has decided to explore connections with other people, because Josh kept saying to Toby, you're not wifed off, you're not wifed off. And for me, I question Josh's intentions because apparently he's friends with Georgia S's ex. So I don't know whether he's been doing that out of spite or whether he's doing it because he's looking out for Toby. So I'm a bit sort of concerned that Toby's going to lose an amazing thing just because he's listened to the wrong person. Because they sit at the fire pit, they still are having this back and forth. You can see Georgia S is very upset, and she's telling him that now I am going to be fully open. And you see Toby sort of trying to process that, is this a good idea? It's not a good idea because all these guys really like Georgia S, and the only reason they haven't explored anything with her or pushed on her is because she said she's closed off and she's only for you. And so you telling her that no, actually you can't get to know other guys is putting yourself in jeopardy, because if she does like one of the other guys, then she's gone, and there's no way you can win her back, whether it's for the game or whether it's in real life. And I don't think he really had taken that into consideration. So after their blow up, Georgia S sits with the girls and is trying to sort of understand what's happened, because she doesn't understand why or where this has come from, because they've been getting along, they've been spending most of their time together, they've been cuddling in bed. So she thought they were exploring their connection, they were becoming stronger. And so for him to suddenly come out of left field and say, oh, actually I'm open to getting to know other people and I want to get to know Molly. She's right to say Molly's been here since day one. If you're that keen to know her, why didn't you try to get to know her? Why wait until now, a couple of days later, to say, oh, by the way, I want to get to know Molly? Or why didn't you tell me that, yes, we're exploring our connection, but I still want to get to know Molly? So it's sad. I think the guy is sort of giving him advice to say, maybe the two of you are not meant to be because you haven't worked in the real world, so maybe it's not it. You can see Lewis is trying to process it. I think he's questioning whether the guys are giving advice out of the best intentions or out of what benefits them. So it's sad, but hey, it is what it is. So we'll see how that plays out. So Anton receives a text message to say that a new girl is coming in, Arabella, and the girls are nervous because they're worried that she's going to take their man. And I have a feeling Lewis is going to be interested. I think Lewis is really going to like her. I might be wrong, but hey, it is what it is. It seems she's more or less along the same features as Molly and Demi, so there's a possibility he could like her. So we'll see what happens. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 4. Bye guys.